Welcome back, everyone. So we are still talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's matter. You guys know that today Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in the court, right? But before I allow you guys to watch some videos to get the whole gist of everything that took place today, there is this particular irritating, annoying, evil post from Vanguard News circulating all over the place concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's matter today in the courts. Yes, my people, this is unacceptable. This is evil. So thank God that Aloy Ejimakor, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, has come out to debunk it. My people, listen though. The post said, a federal high court in Abuja had on Tuesday on the self-acclaimed leader of proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, admitted operating an illegal radio station and inciting members of the public to attack police officers. Hey, so let's read what Aloy Ejimakor replied to them. Aloy Ejimakor said, the viral publication that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu admitted inciting public to attack police is misleading and highly prejudicial. The general public is hereby advised to draw no conclusion until the veracity of the witness is tested on cross-examination tomorrow or next. This is the so-called Vanguard News said about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I believe that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer will not let this one slide. They need to sue this Vanguard News because enough is enough. This is one thing these people use against Ndi Igbo that are still affecting Ndi Igbo up to now. Social media, internet, even the 1966 coup that are still affecting Ndi Igbo today is because of a particular statement they made in BBC that it was Igbo coup and it's still affecting Ndi Igbo up to now. It is of the recent that Ndi Igbo had kind of debunking it. Look at the whole Vanguard News. Chai! These people are evil. I don't know what they are trying to achieve. I don't know what they are trying to achieve. Were these people not in the court today? When did the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu admitted inciting members of the public to attack police officers? Like this one will not slide though. They really need to sue this Vanguard News, honestly. They intentionally did this. And they are trying to put a narrative out there in order to achieve their evil agenda. But Chukwu Okike Abiyama will expose them all. At the end of the day, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must regain his freedom, whether they like it or not. Ndi Ojo. Take a look at these videos and hear what they said so that you can get the whole gist, like the summary of everything that took place today in the court concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's matter.
Law that Justice James Omotosho sent out of the court and barred her not to attend the next 3 sittings because she was live streaming in the court. So that is a part. It might interest you to know that for the second time, the federal government and their team, that is the prosecutors, they suffered the second setback since this case started some days ago. Now, in this video, stay with me. Let's follow it step by step to understand what really transpired in the court today. Channels Television and Africa Independent Television, that is AIT, they are the 2 main sources where we are getting the authentic information of what transpired in the court today. Before, maybe we put calls or we even see it on their Facebook pages or other social media where they are granting interview. I'm talking about the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, but they are no longer doing it. So we are relying on the information according to Channels Television and Africa Independent Television. So stay with me in this video. Let us analyze what happened today. And as you can see in the title, Nnamdi Kanu's trial, prosecution suffers setback in presentation of evidence. This is not the first time. You remember about masked witnesses that came to court to goofed when they told the court that Nnamdi Kanu, they did not find anything incriminating or terrorizing against him, and they charged him from treason to terrorism. It doesn't make sense. So another setback has occurred today against them. But what really transpired? Now, let's get it started. Now, this article is from AIT. So I will be correcting so many words, okay, that I don't like to use in my own term, okay? I will be correcting them, but you will understand everything that transpired today. Now, it started that the federal high court judge trying the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, of terrorism charges has directed the federal government to ensure all relevant documents and materials intended for trial are duly served on the defense team before being presented in court. The decision followed the confusion over legal representation and tendering of documents in the courtroom when the case resumed on Tuesday, that is today. Justice James Omotosho equally barred Kanu's sister Favour Kanu for 3 sittings for recording court proceedings in violation of the directives. I have explained that before, okay? When hearing resumed on Tuesday, the trial judge called the attention of the defense team to a letter received from one Charles today, claiming to be Kanu's lawyer. But the lead defense counsel, Chief Kanu Agabi, disassociated the team from Ude's claim, with Kanu affirming that Agabi remains his official legal representative. The court also addressed a past infraction involving Favour Kanu, a relative of the defendant who had allegedly recorded court proceedings of violation of directives and posted the content online. Okay, that is apart. Nnamdi Kanu, however, personally appealed for leniency on her behalf. Favour, when called upon, claimed ignorance of the court still being in session and stated that she had stopped recording immediately after the warning. The trial judge, in consideration of the compliance of infraction, barred her from attending the next 3 sitting. Now, this is where the main deal started. Okay, let's pay attention. Tuesday's proceedings continued with the cross-examination of the first prosecution witness, with pseudo name identified as AAA, who admitted to being unaware that several terrorism charges against Nnamdi Kanu had been struck out by the court and also lacked knowledge of the current status of many of the original 15-count charges. Someone that claimed that he is there for witness to testify against Nnamdi Kanu, he don't know that the court has struck out many charges against Nnamdi Kanu before, and he don't even know the 15-count charges leveled against Nnamdi Kanu, but he is there to testify against him. All right, it continues. When re-examined by the lead prosecutor, Chief Adegboyaga Awomono, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the witness stated that Kanu's activities amounted to agitation for the secession parts of Nigeria. The second prosecution witness was identified as BBB, who testified that he was assigned by the Attorney General of the Federation to investigate Kanu. He described the defendant as the operator of Radio Biafra and the founder of the Eastern Security Network. However, attempt by the prosecution to tender a letter authorizing the witness invitation met stiff resistance from Agabi, who objected on the grounds that the document was not front-loaded, which prompted the prosecution to withdraw the document. The defendant also expressed disagreement over admissibility of video evidence presented by the prosecution, which Kanu himself opposed. The court ordered therefore that all documents and material intended for trial must be served in advance and listed properly, stressing that no document would be admitted unless previously disclosed to the defense. The trial judge, Justice James Omotosho, then adjourned to May 7 for the continuation of the trial, specifically for the examination in chief of the second prosecution witness, BBB. Now, the testimonies, the evidence, everything they brought against Kanu today was not admissible. Why? Because I don't know what they are hiding, whether they are hiding their shame, I don't know. Now, the normal way it is being done, they're supposed to serve it to Agabi first. Then Agabi will now use it to prepare for the defense. So they came to court and presented it to Omotosho. Now, the issue here is that we know that the federal government's team, I'm talking about people who are prosecuting Nnamdi Kanu, they are trying their best so that the government or anybody sending them will not say, oh, these people did not do anything. Okay? That is what I believe, in my own opinion. Because they themselves know that what Nnamdi Kanu is suffering today has nothing to do with the charges leveled against him. What is the charges? That he's operating Radio Biafra? Now, they said he formed Eastern Security Network. Then, the Eastern Security Network they are talking about that he formed, do they commit any crime? Do they do this? Do they do that? Maybe that is what the man wanted to say, that Eastern Security Network was doing this, was doing that. But remember that in the previous cross examination, Agabi asked him, do you see anybody facing terrorism charge within Nnamdi Kanu? He said no. So if there is nobody facing terrorism charges within Nnamdi Kanu, how would you say that Nnamdi Kanu made other people to commit crime when there is no one facing criminal charges? So, Agabi has made, this trial to be understandable. We now even understand the nature of the case. Before, we don't even know what the federal government was charging Nnamdi Kanu for. Once you hear about Nnamdi Kanu, a lot of people will think that, this man has killed a lot of people. If you hear about Nnamdi Kanu, you will think that, this man has condemned many souls. Only for them to come to court, they started talking about Radio Biafra, broadcasting equipment, watch, phone, haba. So, tomorrow, according to Justice James Omotosho, is still going to be the cross-examination of the witness BBB. And I am happy that, there is a deadlock. They are meeting deadlocks. This is not the first time. This is the second time. But what do I know? I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. So it is the Justice James Omotosho that is going to, conclude everything. Everything people are saying now, everything people are doing, is just one pronunciation from judge. He will say what he wants to say. So we are still waiting, but it's important we understand the way things are going. It is important we understand everything that is happening so that we know that, yes, we are being carried along. Because Nnamdi Kanu's issue is not a family issue. It's a general public issue. Nnamdi Kanu is not just an individual person that belongs to his family. He belongs to the people. He belongs to the general public. And as well, he will continue to protect his interests. He did not do anything wrong. His ideology is never wrong. And today, as I speak to you, many Nigerians are buying his idea. They are saying, this man said this before, this man said this before. What did Nnamdi Kanu say and what did he want? He said that the killing of his people must not continue. That is the reason of setting up a vigilante group called ESN. And today, the DSS is still saying the same thing, that everybody should protect themselves, everybody should arm themselves. Every community should protect themselves. Fight for yourself. The same thing the Army General is saying. So what is the difference between Nnamdi Kanu's position and these people's position? I know that tomorrow, I trust Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Agabi. I trust him very well. He will still put a question like, okay, the DSS person that came, maybe he will say, Nnamdi Kanu from ESN. Then there will be a question that will put forth to him. Are you aware of the killings in various parts of the country? Are you aware of the killings going on? He will say yes. Are you aware of the DSS directive that every community will protect themselves? Are you aware that self-defense is not a crime? Yes. Then at the end, okay, what is the issue with ESN? Maybe you say ESN are committing any crime. Okay, how many of them are facing trial? And how do you know that those people are connected to Nnamdi Kanu? Can you bring them here to testify that they are being connected with Nnamdi Kanu? Look at what I'm saying. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge. I'm just saying what I'm thinking. That is my opinion, okay? If I were to be the one that would question him. Anyway, it is what it is. Thanks for having time to watch this video.
First counsel is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. So what transpired? So the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu resumed at the Federal High Court in Abuja with heated exchanges between today's judgment day at the Abuja Federal High Court with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu facing trial. We are going to talk about what transpired in court. But before that, there's a breaking news, and EFCC grants Very Dark Man administrative bail. EFCC grants Very Dark Man administrative bail. So over to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, court adjourns till May 7th as defense prosecution clash over document. Defense counsel, prosecution counsel, they clash in court today over document. Remember, the prosecution is the federal government. The defense counsel is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. So what transpired? So the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu resumed at the Federal High Court in Abuja with heated exchanges between the prosecution and defense teams over the handling of critical documents. Now, Kanu was in court under tight security. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the prosecution headed by SAN Adegboyega, representing the federal government, calling its second witness to testify. The witness claimed that Kanu incited violence and established the Eastern Security Network, alleged as an armed wing of IPOB. Remember, there was the first witness that wanted to connect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Simon Ekpa, but this second witness, new allegation that he claimed that Kanu incited violence. You know, the federal government, the prosecution council, want to establish a criminal offense with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They're trying to establish it from what they got from him at Golden Tulip Hotel in Lagos, and saying that he created Radio Biafra to incite violence and what have you, connecting him to Simon Ekpa and the atrocities committed by Simon Ekpa. They're also saying that Kanu incited violence and established the Eastern Security Network, allegedly as an armed wing of IPOB. However, under cross-examination, the witness admitted ignorance of several key facts, including that a previous court ruling had already struck out some of the charges against Kanu. Defense lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu pressed the witness on whether he was aware that the allegations of terrorism and incitement to destroy public property had been dismissed. The witness said he does not know that the court has dismissed that particular allegation of terrorism and inciting to destroy public property. Now, the defense team, led by renowned lawyer and former Attorney General of the Federation, Kanu Agabi, SAN, objected to the prosecution's attempt to tender new documents in court, citing a lack of prior service. So, the prosecution counsel, Awomolo, brought a new document in court. So, the defense counsel, led by Kanu Agabi, said that no, we are refusing this document because you have not told us. You need to serve the defense team whatever document you're going to present in court on court date. Okay? Now, citing lack of prior service, serving this new document that is unknown to everybody, you need to serve it to the defense team before bringing it to court. So Justice Omotosho firmly reminded the prosecution, that is federal government lawyers, that all evidence and documents must be duly served to the defense before they can be admitted. He emphasized the importance of fair hearing and due process, like what I just said. At one point, a letter allegedly from a former Attorney General of the Federation became a point of contention. The defense maintained they had never received the document, and even Justice Omotosho confirmed he had not seen the same document. Following this, the prosecution formally withdrew the letter from the court record. The prosecution is trying all it can, because that's its job. The federal government is trying all it can to nail Nnamdi Kanu, to connect Nnamdi Kanu to a particular allegation of crime. Yes. Now, Kanu's legal team, comprising of over a dozen lawyers, including Aloy Ejimakor. I know there's dispute over Aloy Ejimakor, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, and Emeka Etiaba, further insisted on viewing all materials presented by the prosecution, despite the prosecution's claim that they were prepared to serve the document. The defense argued that the late submission was prejudicial to their case. Now, as proceedings became increasingly contentious, the prosecution requested an adjournment to allow for proper service of documents, a motion the court granted. So, how come we have the headline that court adjourns till May 7th as defense prosecution clash over documents? Is because these new documents presented by the prosecution counsel, the lawyer asked, Kanu's legal team said, we need to adjourn to allow for proper service of documents, a motion which the court granted. Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer says, these evidences you are bringing in court, these documents you are bringing in court, you need to properly serve us as defense team. Let us go through it and monitor it. So we ask for adjournment. So the court, yes, approved granted that motion. Justice Omotosho adjourned the trial to Tuesday, May 7th, 2025. That is Tuesday. specifically for the continuation and examination of the prosecution witness, the court also noted that an application regarding the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's personal belongings is expected to be submitted. All this back and forth, big grammar, big English. The federal government, if they are very serious at what they want to do, they need to uphold the ruling of the appeal court, because during Buhari time, we went forth and back with this. From 10 count charge, you are amended to 15. From 15, they struck everything out. Binta Nyako was moving left and right on this issue. The point still remains. If the federal government can determine can come clean on how they're able to seize Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya into Nigeria, if they can determine that, that's where we start having a very good conversation. Every other thing, they first brought the witness connecting to Simon Ekpa, the sit at home, and all the things that Simon Ekpa claimed he was responsible of, the killings he claimed he was responsible of. They wanted to connect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Simon Ekpa. They failed. Now they are trying to bring in documents that is unknown to the court. So that's why we have an adjournment tomorrow, Tuesday, 7th, 2025, for the defense counsel to be served this document, then they will go through it. So that is what has transpired in court today. Would Nnamdi Kanu be released? That's the big question in the hearts of every Biafran. Would he be released? Is there something the federal government is not telling us? Are they trying to look for something to pin on Nnamdi? Are they trying to, what are they trying to do? If they had something really evident on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they will have won this case a long time. They're dragging since 2015 till now. That is 10 years. 10 years this guy has been on and off with the federal government. We talked about the political solution. I don't know what the federal government is saying. Many times, Igbo elders went to meet Buhari. Elders went to beg Buhari to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But I understand why the government would not want to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Nobody wants the politicians. Nobody wants those benefiting from the injustice in Nigeria. Those benefiting from one Nigeria don't want Nigeria to experience restructuring. Before Tinubu restructured Nigeria, he go on spend 8 years. If he's going to do that, I believe he has what it takes to do that, to restructure Nigeria. It is left for him to decide whether he's going to do so. So I believe that they are playing mind games with the IPOB and those that support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I believe so. I believe that they don't want to release this guy, but they have to. Nnamdi Kanu will be free. Nnamdi Kanu is not going to die. Nobody can eliminate Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS. Nobody. If it happens that Nnamdi Kanu, the foundation of Nigeria will just shake. Let's not say much. But let's talk about Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa would be showing up in court, expected on the 21st of May, 2025. Finland would gather all its evidence against Simon Ekpa. And however, we are not we are not getting the right information on this Simon Ekpa case. The issue I have is that the group, autopilot group, they split into two, making open disgrace of them online. This one attack this one, you steal money, you do this, you are sponsoring, you are working with Nigerian government to kill our people, you are doing this. Just 1 week after Simon Ekpa was incarcerated, 1 week after they declared Biafra in Finland. So who gives us the information? Are we to trust the Nigerian government on this Simon Ekpa issue? Are we to trust the Finland government, which has not come out to give an official statement? Are we to trust those from Simon Ekpa's camp? Remember, when Simon Ekpa was arrested, many people said, no, he's at home. From Simon Ekpa's camp, he's at home, he's this and that. At the end of the day, we found out that if somebody is at home, at least they can't stop you from posting on social media. That means a lot of things have happened. Maybe the real information about Simon Ekpa is not true to us. We are all speculating. Many people believe that Simon Ekpa would not be extradited to Nigeria. We are hearing reports that Finland entered an agreement with the federal government, resources, weapons, resources, crude oil and whatever, economy, import and export, using that advantage to make sure that they repatriate Simon Ekpa into Nigeria. You see, the federal government at this point, we are convinced that they have no case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But if they bring in Simon Ekpa, so many videos of what he had claimed. If this were to be Simon Ekpa facing the trial that Nnamdi Kanu is facing, evidence is Ekpa left, right, center against Simon Ekpa. I don't pray that Simon Ekpa comes to Nigeria, because Nigeria will just swallow the guy. Whether he's working for the federal government or whether he's working for Diesel, that one, and many people believe in Simon Ekpa. I've met so many people who want this Biafra Act. They are so passionate about Biafra. We want Biafra. We want Biafra. So one thing about the Igbo people is that anybody that comes and says, behold, I can offer you Biafra, everybody is endeared to that person. Well, Biafra is a spirit. Me, I want Biafra. I don't know about you. I don't know about the people watching. Because there's one thing I notice. Somebody can boldly call himself an Oduduwa person. Another person can boldly call himself another person. But if I call myself a Biafra, some people are agitated. I don't know why. I want to understand why. Somebody will call himself Oduduwa. We are Oduduwa. The other time, Southwest governors were singing Oduduwa national anthem. Southeast governors, well, I don't know. If you say I'm a Biafran, people are angry. You see so many comments hating on my brother. We know where we all belong. Nigeria that we are brought together like this, we know that it is a fake unity, fake love for ourselves. People are taking advantage of this fake love to cheat all of us. Use our head, join together, start taking our resources. Somebody from Sokoto will be owning refinery. Resources belonging to Delta State, Bayelsa State. While most people in Bayelsa State don't even have access to their own refinery that is in their land. Somebody in Zamfara State, they carry their gold for themselves. An Igbo man does not own a gold mine in Zamfara State, but a Northerner owns oil well. A Northerner owns one of the biggest refineries, even the only working refinery in Nigeria. Every other thing we hear is blending. How someone owns working refinery in Nigeria. If we had oil in the northern Nigeria, would it be possible for an Igbo man to own one of the biggest refineries in the whole Nigeria, monopolizing it in quote? So this fake Nigeria unity, some people are using it to cash out, deceive people up and down, and we believe that. So we need to understand that you are Oduduwa, some people are Arewa, some people are Biafra. Well, I don't care. I don't give a bluff if you don't like the name Biafra. I don't know, maybe the Biafra sounds somehow to ears of some people. Man, if you know who a Biafran is, if you read history, we don't know history in Nigeria. And people that are not knowledgeable, people that are ignorant are the loudest. Go to social media. If they tell you that Africa has connection, most of the things, if they tell that Jesus was a black man, will you believe? King Solomon was a black man, will you believe? Some people will argue with you. Some people will say all sorts of things. You are stupid. Someone you don't smoke Igbo, you don't drink. It doesn't erase the truth, because ignorant people are the loudest. If you tell that Biafra has a connection with divinity, actually, you can find Israel amongst Biafrans. Africa is the place where God, most of these things in the Bible, most of the locations in the Bible are in Africa. But the white man will use style from backyard, from frontier, deceive all of us. They deceive everybody during the days of the colonial masters. They sold you as slaves. France could not fight its war. France, come on, They took Africans, deceived them, and they went to kill themselves. So these Oyibo have been deceiving black man over the years. There are technologies created by black man over the years that have been lost. So when you tell Biafra is beyond what we think. Maybe that's your own, like the Oduduwa. Oduduwa has a spirit beyond what we think. I don't know about Arewa is a political creation. You see people like the John Nation, they are connecting to their roots. And somebody is angry that I'm connecting to my root. Yeah. So, very important. It will be good. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released so that we can start planning on how we can structure Nigeria. If Tinubu wants to really restructure Nigeria, he should release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If he really wants to. Then how? I've told you, first priority of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is to complete 8 years. He can release Nnamdi Kanu after 8 years, but he wants to complete 8 years. He wants to spread his tentacles. He wants to be one of the cabals. But history will always repeat itself if we don't learn from history. All these people that are emperors, cabals, after they die, and their dynasty, the thing they built for themselves collapses. Look at Awolowo. How many Awolowo's children you see as prominent as Awolowo? Look at Abacha. How many of Abacha's children you see as prominent as Abacha? Look at Buhari. Look at Obasanjo. They are the ones that have that name. So the president Tinubu, don't think that you can pitch Tinubu and some other people as maybe this one, it's going to outlive me. Your legacy, I don't know what I can pinpoint as Tinubu's legacy, Sha. We know the legacy of Awolowo. I don't know the legacy of Tinubu. Restructuring Nigeria will be your legacy, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Restructuring Nigeria will be your legacy. Anything other than that, my brother, you have achieved nothing as far as we are concerned. So some people think, okay, Sheyi Tinubu, influence of Tinubu, maybe the next 20 years, if Tinubu is no more next 20 years, this APC in Lagos State, that ordinary Sonlu was dealing with Obasa, having infighting, and the mandate movement, this one, different, everybody share. If Tinubu is no more, do you think Sheyi Tinubu will be as prominent? They will just shove him in one side. Even if the wife is still alive, they will shove all of them. So don't think that after 8 years, you still want to, you see, look at Cameroon, 90 years, that one wants to see the power. If it's possible for Tinubu to make it 12, he will make it 12. Because most times, the people that are going to prepare and plan and execute our future are not these old people. They are on their way out. So if Tinubu cares for anything legacy, he should make sure that he restructures Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu will be released. The Southeast will find their foot. They will be restructuring. Initially, if you divide Nigeria today, we know that there will be still the problem, Nigerian problem will still be there. Nigerian problems will still be there. But the main important thing I'm concerned about is this Fulani influence, Fulani hegemony. They are the ones dragging everybody back. Dragging. You see them everywhere. They are always, their way of, their modus of brandy is just different. Their ideology is different. Their approach to life is different. Nobody wants to forge ahead. The North has been breeding terrorism. Look at mosques. Look at Amal Jiri. Kano State governor saw some of them on the street. They abandon their children. Those ones now. This is a current decimal in the North. So they are the ones that breed all these children that turn terrorists, that terrorize the nation. Most of our facilities are in the northern Nigeria. Most of the people that collect allocation are in northern Nigeria. So there's a lot to talk about this restructuring and release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. However, whatever the federal government is trying to do to nail Nnamdi Kanu to crime would not work. Remember what the lawyer said? Akabi said that all those ones have been struck out. Don't you know that they have been struck out? Why bring it again? Are you disrespecting the ruling of the court? It has been struck out. So what is the basis? Release this guy and let this guy go. So we are waiting. We know that Chukwu Ekike Abiyama is going to back up everything that Nnamdi Kanu will do from now on.